Right, D2, the final one. Let's do this. Right, so I played three roles, three roles in my event. I'd done the health and safety officer, the organizer, and the marketing and media officer. And so for the health and safety officer, I'd rate myself a 9 out of 10. This is because I done good risk assessments. Like at the end of the event, there were no injuries, and yeah, participants gave me good feedback from when I gave them an information sheet of how they should sit, like their posture, so they don't get back pain. And they said it was useful for them. And yeah, the knock-on effect if I didn't carry this out effectively was like them getting injured, poor reputation, and they'd see us as negligent. And this is what we're trying to avoid. Yeah, next is organizer. For organizer, I'd rate myself as 7 out of 10. This is because like the schedule was good and the timings of the events and who was playing who was clear and participants and staff understood. However, like with some rules and regulations, I could have been more organised. For example, like participants became confused of what would happen in the event of like a tie, or like an event of a disconnection. And yeah, this knock-on effect of this like is delay, and like a match could be postponed if a player shows up late or gets the wrong timing. Next is the marketing and media officer, and I'd rate myself an 8 out of 10 for doing this role. It's because I was good on promoting the event, Snapchat, using Snapchat stories, and this is where most of our target audience is. So this app would have been very useful for drawing people in and engaging people to sign up. However, the poster could have been more eye-catching, I think, and so if it was more eye-catching, this would attract more people and excel the purpose of the event, which was to raise money for the Nest. Next is did I use an adaptable approach? Why I went, and yeah, I did. In one of the second games of the tournament, a player turned up late. Therefore, we just pushed the timings back a little bit. It didn't cause much delay, but we just said push all the games back a few times just to help it all run smoothly. Next is how I use different types of assessment and methods to review my contribution. I use some feedback cards. So in these feedback cards, I asked what went well, what didn't go so well, where I can improve, why, and so they said that the way they were treated very well. It was all nicely organised. However, some communication stuff and could be improved between staff and participants. Next is another way, another type of assessment is a summative assessment. So after the event, I reviewed myself individually, and I saw that my communication wasn't as good as it should have been. I wasn't clear enough when explaining rules and regulations, for instance, to people. This will also give us a bad reputation, negligence if I didn't improve this. So it'd give us a bad reputation if I didn't improve this, because it would just think we didn't care, we didn't want to improve, and it would just be seen as a rubbish tournament, really. I reviewed it by asking staff as well if they understood everything clearly, and I asked them to tell me clearly if they were confused, so just to know exactly where I went wrong and what I can do better in the future if I was to plan another event. Next is a formative assessment. So this is during the event. So during the event, I reviewed the organisation of it. I was was games on being played at the right times? Did people know? So I was just reviewing if with participants if they knew exactly what to do, and I had a checklist to review. So I would do this, and this made the event very successful, and all the games were played smoothly, and there were no complaints on that side from the participants. And also I questioned and observed how it was all going on. So staff going into games just to see if it was running smoothly. If there was a problem, I'd deal with it. So just observing and just overseeing the whole event. So what would I do differently if I was to do it again? So if I was to do the event again, so I'd plan it better. For example, I'd do a questionnaire first, just to see like how many people like would sign up, so we can have an estimate of how many people should be in our tournament, so we can plan it better and see how many people we need to share the event for the marketing people. Also, we could, as well as questionnaires, ask on social media who would do it, because this is where most of our target audience is, and social media would be a more popular place to have a look. Also, have the marketing side also have a more eye-catching poster, and I've already applied for work experience with the Knowledge Marketing team to see if I can better my skills at post making, so this would attract more people and raise more money. Yeah, again, is my communication skills. This is because people became confused, and so I would have to I would explain stuff more clearly, have a list of what I need to explain, and explain them all to the participants very clearly. So I'd get them all together in a audio group, and explain them very clearly and ask any questions if there was confusion, and sort it there and then without them having to ask in the future. Also, I'll do not just an Xbox tournament, so I'll do PS4 as well. This means more people, which increases the chance of fulfilling the purpose of the event, which is to raise money for the Nest. As well as this, there could also be a prize for the winner, so it makes it that more competitive for the participants, and more people would want to get involved with it. Why was I